Good Monday morning, guys. So we are starting a new unit this week called Kinetics and Equilibrium, and today is May 4th. May the 4th be with you. So we're going to talk about two things today. One is the collision theory, right here, and the other one is factors that affect the speed or rate of a reaction. So those of you who play sports or in music or anything like that, it's the same idea. So in order for particles to react, you need to have the correct amount of energy and you have to have the correct positioning. So whether you play an instrument, whether you're hitting a soccer ball into a goal, whether you're hitting a tennis ball with a tennis racket or a softball with a bat or a baseball with a bat, you're looking for energy and the right positioning. So when we relate this to chemistry, we're just talking about how can we make a reaction happen. So in order for a reaction to happen, the particles have to collide. So again, they need an effective collision, which we say means that the particles have to have the right amount of energy for the particular reaction and be in the right position. So factors that affect how fast a reaction happens, and really we're generally looking for the right positioning and the right amount of energy, except for the first one right here. So the Regents likes to say nature of reactants. You can just think of it as a type of reactant. So I just took a picture. Here I have milk on the left side and I have a lemon on the right side. So if I left these out for 2 weeks, you can imagine 2 Mondays from today on the counter what the milk would look like. It would probably look clumpy and smelly, and the lemon would pretty much look the same as it does. So because of the nature of milk versus lemon, milk reacts faster. So if we relate this to chemistry, we're looking at covalent things. So say we have, say carbon dioxide, which is covalent because it's nonmetals, and water, which is covalent, nonmetals. And then we compare it to something like an ionic compound in water. So remember, when we have ionic compounds in water, they're floating around, and then we'll just put something like that here. So the question is, which reaction will happen faster? And the reaction that will happen faster is the one that has the most contact. The answer is this one right here, because you have all these ions floating around in water in close contact. Here you have a gas and you have a liquid, and there's not a lot of contact. So we're looking at more contact, the faster the reaction. So anything ionic in an aqueous solution is fast. Okay, another thing that affects the rate of reaction is concentration. So I'm not sure how well you can see this, but here I have 30% vinegar, which you use in your garden. And here, if you have normal vinegar in your cabinet, it's 5%. So if I was trying to, say, clean a surface or clean a window, the one that has the higher concentration would be the one that reacts the fastest or does the job faster. So when we relate this to chemistry, we look at molarity. So say I converted this to molarity, so this would be like 15 molar vinegar is acetic acid or ethanoic acid. And then we have, let's say this would be something like, well, it would be 1/6 of that. So whatever that would be, right? Let's just say 4, which is not correct. Let's just say 2. Ethanoic acid. So if this was a really, really strong acid and you got it on your skin, the one that would react the fastest is the one with the higher concentration. So a higher concentration is a faster reaction. Okay, another picture here is surface area. So if you cut up strawberries, which is right here, these are all cut up, versus if you have a whole strawberry there and you leave them out for a while, the one that's going to react faster is this one right here because it has a greater surface area. More contact, more oxygen contacting all different parts of the strawberry, so the reaction is going to happen faster. So the greater the surface area, the greater the reaction. Okay, another one is for gases only pressure. So this is a piston on the left side, right? And these are just little different particles of a gas that are going to react. So you can see if you increase the pressure, right? So down here would be increase of pressure. You're squishing it. It's going to have more contact, faster reaction. Okay, two more. Catalyst. Catalyst doesn't affect really collisions, it affects the positioning of the reactants. So you may remember this from biology, right? We call catalysts in biology enzymes. And I usually don't spell this right, but I think I'm okay right now. So there's an enzyme is a form of a catalyst. There are many, many other catalysts. There's actually in a car, there's a catalytic converter underneath the car, and it has platinum, which is very expensive. So you never want your catalytic converter to die before the car does, because it costs like $1,200. But what it does is it's a catalyst for the emissions in your vehicle, so that when you emit things from your car, the exhaust, it's not as bad as it would have been without the catalyst. So what it does, again, is it's a positioning apparatus. So if your substrate or your reactant looks something like that, it's kind of a place for it to position and the reaction to happen faster. And then lastly, temperature. Remember, temperature is a type of energy, which you all know. It's kinetic, which is the energy of movement. So the higher temperature, the higher the rate of the reaction.